Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the I Am Winter Solstice Fire Tenders Gathering. Now, I know that's a long name, and it's like, yeah, I could probably shorten it. But the I Am Symposium, I always believe that someday is going to be more than just the Fire Tenders Gathering. But it is the Fire Tenders Gathering, and this is year 12. And Linda and I were just talking about how many great presenters come out and how much of the community holds a space together. And it's kind of one of those events that has evolved over time. And every year I say, oh, too much work. I'm not doing this again. And then I get around to November and it's like I open up the cabinet and all the candles are there and the fire's there and the wind is saying, yes, you're going to do this again. This is a community service. And it's also okay if people participate by sharing your altar video pictures. And, there's a donation box there. And you can also buy the series and listen at your convenience. It's a wonderful collection that you can listen to anytime during the year. So there are ways of supporting this. And if you can't support it that way, and you're supporting it with your light and being a diligent fire tender, then that's what we rely upon too. So that there's no really right or wrong way to do this. And there's this concept called Eine and reciprocity that it's always great to be a part of, which I think goes into what Linda's really going to share about today. This is my dear friend, Linda Fitch. We've known each other for, well over 20 years now. And she's going to talk about abundance. And I know something about my own life. The more I give out, the more I receive back. And I'm not sure if that's in her talk or not, but that's something that I've learned about my own Eine in my own life. And when I'm always thinking what's in it for me, there's usually little in it for me. And when I think about what's in it for you, it always multiplies and I get bountiful results every which way in my life. So I'm grateful to be here holding space with you today. And Linda, take it away.
Well, first off, Renee, thank you. You know how much I admire you, and I love the I Am Symposium. I was actually getting things ready to, like sending an email out, and I was like, okay, where's Renee's Symposium? This is my number one thing for the solstice celebration is for you and your fire tenders. So just first off, thank you for all that you bring to the world and your whole community. Amazing, amazing community, Renee. So yay.
Thank you.
And and I was looking at the topic. So just recently, that right relationship, that Ina you're talking about, really and truly, when we are in right relationship, or what the Peruvians called Aini, what we give out more than comes back. And it wants to be both in the energetic world and in that material world. So in that topic, what you're talking about, like all this change that's happening in the world, how do we have both? And that a lot of times when we're in change, it brings up so much fear for people. They'll watch whatever's happening in other countries, and it activates and triggers us as we step into change. And it's really important for everyone that you have this place of being able to hold and know that you're okay, both in the material world and in that energetic world. So what I'm going to talk about is how do you create a well-formed money belief? Like, how do you actually create a well-formed belief so that you have that coded and you're going to be fine no matter what's happening and what's up in the world and the changes that we're going through. And I know a lot of presenters are going to talk about it from the energetic standpoint. What I want to also include it in this very literal, so I'm going to weave in a whole bunch of neurolinguistics programming. A good part of my background has been for 30 plus years. So I want to talk about that, give you very solid skills of things you can do and take home. And first part with it is that, and actually maybe Renee, I'm going to do a screen share because I did a slideshow. So let me do that. So we want to have as well-formed, empowering new beliefs about money as we're going through this change, is that you have that. And before we do jump into exactly what a well-formed belief is and why it's so important in those pieces, what I want to do is it's really core that you heal your money DNA. that you inherit not only physical DNA, but you inherit your money DNA with it. So we first have to acknowledge, realize, and heal the old patterns that have been passed down to you. That's number one with it. And really and truly, in truth, the things that your ancestors believed in is create your money DNA. And here's the part that's really hard. A lot of it is not even visible. It's like under the wire. It's like things that were passed down again and again. Remember, one of my kids says that they went to the grocery store when they were young, and I was out of town, so my husband took them, and one of them wanted some candy or something, and she was actually told that we didn't have enough money. So somehow she got a belief that we didn't have enough money. And many parents do this instead of, and it could be true, maybe there wasn't enough money for a parent to do that. But it's also a way of just saying, oh, I don't want to address it. Like, so we just give a belief and then the child takes it in. And this gets passed down generation after generation after generation. So what you want to do is you actually want to heal that and create a supportive kind of relationship with money. You need to make money like a best friend. So as this is like back before, and actually this is the jumping back a little bit from the well-formed belief. So you first have to heal your money DNA and make money your friend. So part of what I told Renee I want to give you guys as part of that is a free ebook that talks about how you would create an ancestor altar, because this is getting passed down from your family, and particularly you want to look at your dad's side. If there is any old, healed, unhealed trauma, unhealed business, anything on your dad's side, it's going to show up financially for you. And that doesn't mean between you and your dad. It means there's old stuff down your dad's lineage line. So maybe there was a death that was never grieved for. Maybe things happened way back that was never worked out. All of that, anything back there, it's going to show up financially in your life. Then if we have, one of my teachers talks about if obstacles, like you're moving forward, something comes up, moving forward, something comes up, that's usually stuff from our mom's side. But first we want to heal the money DNA, particularly from your dad, and then make friends, a right relationship with money. So actually, this is a course I just finished. After we do and you'll have a link for that too, but I actually want to give you the core part, which is to do an ancestor altar so you can work on the pieces with your dad. After we do that, the next piece that we want to work on is we want to work on to heal the cultural view. And what has happened in our cultural view, we have this is further and further back, we actually have a cultural view of not enough. We have a scarcity model in our culture with it. So again, in relationship to the topic that we're doing, as change happens and the scarcity comes up, we need energetic practices and material practices that help us heal and move forward so that we can create the world that we want as energy workers, as shamans. So in healing that cultural view with it, it's the, if you want to look at scarcity, poverty, not enough. And as soon as we buy into that not enough, like there's not enough clean water, how many times do you say I didn't get enough sleep last night? Or maybe even feel personally that you're not enough, or there's not enough time. So this whole model of scarcity ends up in this place of not enough. And then it shows up in all the different things, like we use it as an excuse of why we can't accomplish our goals or move forward, be who we want to be, can't do what we want to do, and it causes us to do very unethical things to the world. So as soon as we buy into this not enough, this scarcity with it, we believe that more is better. More is not necessarily better. More is just more with it. And change, so all the change that's happening as we're doing this global revamping with it, it brings up fear, and we go into that I need more. No, when we had all the stuff that happened with COVID, how everything, the extra more, I need this to make sure I'm going to be okay, that more. So it activates the brain of scarcity is what happens. So globally, we want to change that worldview with it, that there's enough, that you're enough, that you have enough, that we are all enough with it. And this is what a lot of your speakers are talking about, tools to give you to realize that you're energetically enough. Then we also want to add to those tools that you have a way to shift it, that you have a way to create the beliefs, a well-formed financial belief that holds you both places, both energetically and in the material world, that there is plenty. One of my teachers talks about it, that as grids, like there's an abundance grid and a poverty grid. And so quickly, when we're threatened, we go into fear, we grab a hold of that poverty grid. So it's important. How do we stay on that abundance grid? And you know, they feel different in your body. So part of this is that we hold it, and by holding a well-formed belief. There's a whole variety of ways to change beliefs. Dream time, offer a dream class with it, affirmations. Renee has an amazing vision board process that you can go through. Some of you have had that. Mind movies, some people use those. Hypnotherapy. We're going to work with neurolinguistics programming because that's one of, in this presentation, because it just works. So we're going to do a couple processes using neurolinguistic programming, NLP, about changing those subconscious, like the beliefs that got coded in when we're little tiny and just got passed down from our lineage line with it. And I'm going to use, so the reason we're going to use NLP, so a lot of those other methods, the core part is we want to, your beliefs determine your reality. And really, so we first have our environment. Comes from Robert Dilts, an expert in an NLP teacher. And we have our environment, that's like who we're with. And then you have your behaviors. Then you have your capabilities and your skills. Then your values and beliefs. So if you do affirmations, that's a behavior, right? But it's way down. That's why sometimes affirmations don't work, because if you have a belief that it's a higher level, that this isn't work, or that there isn't enough, or that somehow there is some belief in there that is that subconscious belief that you are not enough, the world does not have enough, whatever the limiting belief would be. It doesn't matter how many affirmations you write, doesn't matter how many sticky notes you put up everywhere, it will not shift for you. You must change it at beliefs and identity. And so it's really, really core. And then, of course, that connection to spirit. So a lot of Renee's Beautiful for the I Am Symposium are bringing in that spirituality piece, because if you can shift there, it'll shift everything underneath. We want to have both. We want to have both with it. So we want to find those old subconscious limiting beliefs. So the core part is to say, and I'm going to give you a whole bunch of examples. This is about money. Remember, we're working on money, that part of it. So what are some of the old beliefs? And they'll show up physically in your body. That's how you're going to find them first with it. Then what we want to do is, once we find it, then of course we find what's the positive intention. We do the honoring with it. But then we want to reprogram. We want to have a new belief that overwrites that. But you want a good belief. You want an awesome belief. You want a belief that's going to take you to places you've only ever dreamed about. On a high quality belief. So here's some limiting beliefs. So as I go through this, just think what resonates with you. Like, sit and just experience in your body. This is the time, as we step into the symposium, all the fires that are happening. This is the time to shift this old belief, to really grab a hold of this place for the world of abundance. So what are the old ones? Maybe you feel like you're not worthy of getting money. Money's hard to earn. Life is tough. Are you buying into the recession, or that there's less money available? How about if you have lots of money, that you'll be alone, or you can't manage money, that somehow it's not right to go beyond your basic needs, that you don't belong in that category? That's an identity, that you're a working class, or maybe even that money's not spiritual. In the recent class I taught, we talked about the difference. My dad, when he was raising us, he had 4 of us all a year apart at college, all at the same time, was this place of, is it a want or is it a need? But then the place I had to heal, one of my limiting beliefs was, if it was only, I couldn't have the wants, I only had to have the needs. So it created confusion for me. So one of the places I worked on of updating and creating a new belief with it. So first off, we find out what our limiting beliefs are. If there's a lot of emotion around it, there's lots of wonderful things you can do. You take that belief, the old belief, the limiting belief, that subconscious belief, and you can do I-axis and cues all the way from, like, you can do figure eights with it where your eyes go up the middle. You can do, you're rewiring the brain, you're just letting go of the emotions that go with us, and then you can go clockwise and counterclockwise with your eyes. So you want to let all the energy go, and then you want to find the positive intention. Like, how does that belief serve you? So for me, in the way it served me, that wants versus needs, I went like, oh, okay. It just helps me identify, well, for sure, I could say the positive intention was my dad with 4 kids. But also that very positive intention was this place of making it work for everyone. Like, to be that really good place of having both wants and needs met. That was the positive intention with it. So first step for you, limiting belief, positive intention. Then we move into that finding a new, empowering, well-formed money belief. That's what we want to do. I'm going to give you the same list of money beliefs, and we're going to take it through a process where you can actually update your money beliefs right here, and then you're going to take it to the fire. So whether it's a candle fire, look at all the fires happening right now. This is what the symposium is about. So many fire tenders with it that are holding this space for you to do this update. So empowering beliefs. I'm free. I deserve to have what I want in life. I can have lots of money and can have good relationships. Money comes easily to you. Your financial wealth continues to grow. Open to receiving. Some of us, sometimes the coding is that it's actually not okay to receive the good things. That there's so much scarcity in the globe, in our global view, that we can't even receive the good stuff. So having money gives you freedom. That it's okay to have both. Renee and I were talking about that I need, that you can have that right relationship, that I need of that giving. That's what she's giving, her time, her energy, that spirit, energetic and financially, that you have both. That you can have what you want and be fully loved. That earning lots of money is easy and fun. That you can learn to handle money easily. A lot of people are like, it just totally confuses me. I can't go there. You can have what you want and still be connected to God. Now I'm going to use one of these. You can choose any empowering belief that you want. So the one I'm going to use is money easily flows into my life. This is for you. And so we're going to work on this one. So you're going to have this one. We're going to work on this new belief with that money easily flows into your life and your financial wealth continues to grow. So that's what we're going to use. And we're going to go through and we're going to create this in a well-formed belief. So first thing, any new belief you want to add is it stated in the positive. Really important that you don't add the words not, that it doesn't use the words not, without, instead of. So like if you're saying like, what do you want instead? You're still referencing the old. You want to cut that off. You don't want to reference the old. So money easily flows into your life and your financial wealth continues to grow. Yep, that's positive. No negative words in there, no nots. A NOT actually creates a KNOT. A not in it actually commands the brain, like, and the same word don't, like don't touch the TV, don't slam the door, bam, the door slams. So using neurolinguistics programming, it's really important that the words that you use, because they all have energy with them. Number 2, is it stated in the present tense, meaning is it phrased as if it's happening right now? And that's a yes. Money easily flows into your life and your financial wealth continues to grow. Third one, is it simple, almost childlike language? That your subconscious responds best to that simplistic language. We learn it and it's passed down when we're kids with it. So I tried to make this one a little more simple because financial wealth, what little kid would understand that? So money easily flows into your life, and then sit with this. You might massage it a little bit, and Wealth continues to grow, money continues to grow. So want to simplify it. Really, really important. And is it describing a belief, not something, a behavior? So remember those neurological levels. Belief is higher, how you behave. Skills is next, then how you behave is way low. So it's not a, you want to have that belief, money flows into your life. Super easy. It's not about something you do, like when money comes in, I invest it. That's a behavior. So you want to have it to be a belief. And does it add choices, not take choices away? So here's a little simpler version. You can continue to edit this. Money easily flows into your life and effortlessly continues to expand, like more and more and more and more and more comes in. So then as it gives you more choices, then you can decide how do you want to invest it. You know it's going to grow. I've had people, some of my clients have said, Linda, I make money super easy. That's that first part. Money easily flows into my life. But they said, my issue is it all keeps falling right on out. So lots of money in, lots of money out. So I want to do that money easily in and money easily continuing to expand. So you're looking, is there any predictable downside to holding this new belief? And you want to make sure it's process oriented, money flowing versus something that's a result like the lottery or a raffle or something like that. You want to hold a new belief, a well-formed belief that it's about this flow. Does it empower you? And can you make a visual image from it? Well, it's really easy when you talk about flow, right? So money easily flows into your life. Think about that. Maybe you see it as this lake, maybe it's a river, maybe it's the Amazon. What is this place? And effortlessly continues to expand, like it's bigger and bigger and more and more and more. So that's the belief we're going to hold. And then we take it through a belief change process. Now, remember I mentioned all those different kind of belief change processes. We're going to do two ones that NLP has. And this is just super easy ways that you can do it. One of the ways you can do it is you first start with, you find something that you love that's happening right now. Right now. So let's all use. So let's use the I Am Symposium, right? So if Renee was here, I'd say, let's use the I Am Symposium. It's happening right now. And I love it. So you love it. Pick any one speaker you listen to. Just Renee, pick Renee. Pick any one fire you love. Just pick something and just stop for a minute. I'm going to encourage you to kind of close your eyes. We're going to go, NLP calls them submodalities. I'm going to explain them. They're just little tiny chunks of information. So what we want to do is we want to find that thing that you love. I Am Conference, Symposium. Okay, shut your eyes. Pick one part about it, or you might just notice the whole thing. And then in your mind's eye, think about like, where do you have that? So just, is it an image? Is it taking up the whole screen of your mind? Do you just have a picture of fire? Do you see Renee? Did you hear a speaker? And just notice, are you in the picture? That means associated. If you're associated, if you're watching it, all of it's good. No judgment here. Is it moving? Like, are you seeing the fire crackle? Is it a slideshow like this is? Is it just still? All of that's fine. Is it kind of far away? Is it in focus? Is it close up? How clear is it? Is it fuzzy? What is there a frame around it? Maybe you have a whole bunch of images of like all the things happening in the symposium. So when I do mine, I can see Renee's beautiful image with the fire, but I also actually see Renee and I through time. Is actually, I think, the one I'm going to hold with it. And I get a really good feeling. So those are all called submodalities. They're small pieces. And then you want to notice, so I jump to feelings. Where do you feel it in your body? Is there a vibration? Is there a movement to it? Size, shape? Is there a temperature? And then do you hear any sounds? Like, do you hear the crackling of the fire? Do you hear your speaker? Do I hear Renee's voice? Her laughter? So something that you love that's happening right now, you just notice all these small piece chunks. You can actually add taste and smell. Those are all submodalities. So all these small chunks. All right, now we're going to take this new belief that money easily flows into your life and effortlessly gets wider and wider. So maybe it's that river, that stream, whatever your image was. And in your mind's eye, you just want to take that image and you want to put it in the exact same spot that you have the I Am Symposium image. Exact same spot. Put it right there. Like it's just like slips in like whoosh. Just like let it fall in. And you want everything to be same, same, same. So you want it to be same, associated, disassociated, same things that you're seeing, movie, still exact same that you had for the I Am Symposium. Just let it be the water that's there, if that was your image. And then get the feel for it in your heart, same love, same enjoyment. Just want to enjoy all that, everything, same feeling, same hearing. Maybe you hear the rush of the water. Not a trickle, you hear more and more. Maybe you hear rain coming down. Yeah, there you go. Make it as big as you have the I Am Symposium. And it's active, same clarity, same vibration. Feel that vibration in your body. Feel all those energetic pieces that you do at the symposium. Take a nice deep breath, anchor it in. You can always blow that into a talisman. It's anchoring this belief in at the identity level, at that place of all the submodalities are the same. It works. It works. Same. Anchor that in. Another nice deep breath. And I'm going to give you one more way so you can open your eyes. I'll give you another NLP way. And you could do this one. We're not going to do it right now, but you could do it. You could, if it feels like you want to go even deeper with it, and you could go through that process again, like add the submodalities again. Find something else that you love. Maybe it's and that's happening right now. So maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a connection. Maybe it's something else you're doing. Submodalities, same belief that goes in there. Money flows easily, effortlessly, growing. Exact same kind of thing. So the other thing you could do, so here's the other process. You could create a sacred circle on the floor. You could put incense, you could put cornmeal, you could put sage, just create whatever for you would be a sacred circle, stones, fire, like before you do it, before you start it, maybe even in that pit before you light it. Step into it and bring this new belief. Money flows easily into your life and effortlessly expands more and more and more, continues to grow. Effortlessly expanding gives you so much freedom to work, to give back to the world, to create the change in the world, to be present, to do the things that you want to do, all the love that you want to bring to the world, that you don't have to worry about just the paycheck. You're here to bring that abundance to the world. That's what you're here to do, to bring that. And then you could step in again with your talisman, anchor that in. So once you have your new belief, that's a well-formed belief. Once you have that, then you can actually add a goal to it. This is the manifestation process. Like in that, you want to say, this is the amount that I want this to be. So that gives you the freedom to take the actions so that you can make choices on behalf of the world. That you can be that person in the change that is stable, the one that brings the sacred to everything they do. And then so amount, and then what images, feelings, sounds all come in when you say that, all your senses have this belief. And then you could look at, this is, how do you know you're moving towards your goal or away from your goal? If somebody, like if Renee was standing next to me, how would she know that you're going towards it or you're going away from it? What's the benefit you achieve in having that goal? Again, the difference it makes to the world, what it's going to do for you. And remember, you're here as a medicine carrier. Everybody that's listening in, that you're here to hold energetic and you're here to hold the material. that kind of why do you want this goal? We're always hear that Aini that comes back in a much, much greater way with it. Notice if there's any downsides or if parts of you still disagree. Great, go back and create a new belief around that. So can you see how it circles in? So you want to honor that ecology of yourself. Notice if there's any barriers, like some people say, if I did that, then I'd have to work. I'm like, okay, let's change that belief. Qualities, abilities, maybe you need to learn a new skill set. There's tons of ways to do that so that you can then learn how, and notice what's being presented for you. I just had a mastermind group, and one of the things they shared is one of the women said, it's just miracle after miracle after miracle, like a job that looked like it was written specifically for her, twice the salary in the location that she wanted, and then everything else was working. So these things, as you hold what you need, they will come forth. That's that concept of Aini. If you give out, it comes back in. And when your goal is to assist the world and it's becoming, even more comes in. And then, of course, what are you going to do? You have to take action. You just don't sit on the couch. You got to take that action, create those steps, taking the class, learning something new, exploring, following, telling the universe, then in this place is a great place to create your vision board. Now you say, universes, this is what I want. Change the belief upstream, and then create the vision board, the affirmation more downstream. This is what I want. But you first got to go change the belief to a well-formed belief about money, about wealth. And then once you have that, then write it down. Like, you can do all those wonderful things. You make sure you go take it to that high vibration, hold that high vibration, visualize it. This is what you can do, an affirmation sheet, then let it go and go back to gratitude. And then, of course, the very most important thing, we take it to ceremony. This is the transformation tool, and this is why it's perfect to do this update of your beliefs. You're sitting in ceremony. Individuals are sitting in ceremony for you, for the world, and this is the perfect time. So it's whether it's with fire, this is all the fire tenders. Maybe you live by the water. Maybe it's with the wind and the wind clan. I love that sponsoring this, or taking it to the earth. Maybe your place is to take it to the earth right now, but in that place, we take it to ceremony. So this is what you want to have in that. I think that's the end. So wanted to offer for everybody, Renee, a place of having the free gift of, first off, like coming into right relationship with their ancestors. So all of that can come into flow. Those beliefs can change. I'll put information about the class if anybody's interested. And then I'm assuming if anybody wants to come back and do look at the slides, or do you want a handout of the slides too? So, or something that goes to how to do that well-formed belief?
That might be great to have the handout, because it'd be nice to go back through those steps.
Yeah.
I think that would be helpful. And then, if somebody really wants to have this as part of your library and collection, go over to windwork.org and the whole collection is there. I think there's just so many inspiring teachings that you might want to revisit all year long.
Yeah.
Or come back to the Wind Clan, because it'll be here too.
That's right. There you go. So, yep. I know this one was a very literal one, but it's the one that popped in that needed to be, as we go through changes, it's not just the energetic. You have to have those literal pieces that where you do your work so that both of them come in together.
Mm-hmm. You brought something to my attention there too, because a lot of times I always tell people it's a lot easier to create from what you need.
Yes.
And because I'm kind of a need creator. Oh, I need this. I need a new house. Okay. And for me, maybe that's really a desire, but in my world, I needed a brand new house. So I don't know if my needs and my desires are so wrapped in together. It's hard to say, but then the house just built itself. So it's, really closely connected. And I hear that story all the time about where our money beliefs come from. We had a Wind Clan member who hated the wind because the first time they stuck their dollar bill out the car window, the wind took it away, and she blamed the wind forever that,
Yeah.
that dollar got taken away. So I mean, we all have those crazy little ideas, and sometimes little methods like this help you get back to them and track them. And I love that you used me. That I was almost as good as the sunset. That was great.
Yes, yes, yes. You were so, yeah, that's that positive knowing it's happening. And that's what the I Am Symposium
Mhm.
is.
So thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
and I took it personally.
yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here and sharing your gifts, and for sharing your wonderful teachings in the world. And for those of you who don't follow Linda, is it
Yep.
lindalfitch.com?
Hmm.
Because the other Linda is a photographer. She does
Yep.
nice work, but
Yep.
I've noticed lately you've surpassed her in the SEO, and she doesn't come up first anymore. So that's a good thing. And if you're looking to go to Peru, Linda takes trips many times a year. She has people she works with in the jungle and in northern Peru. And, I would highly recommend going to Peru with Linda.
Yep. And that's where we did Prue together, Renee and Salkantay. Yep.
Yeah, years ago. Although
Yeah.
I was reading your new Salkantay, I'm there. Yeah, yeah, the lodges of Salkantay. That sounds a lot more aligned to how I would want to travel today. We used to pitch tents, and I'll never forget it. We were up there, and it was like probably the hardest hike in my whole life. And I wanted a horse, and the Paco said, "No, walk." And so then we were like just about stepping into camp that day, and they're there. Oh, you still need a horse?
Well, and this next year we're all going on horses. So we're gonna bring
Oh,
it's more doable. So it's glamping, yurts and
oh,
amazing. And then we're gonna take horses up to Salkantay is what we're gonna do. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's what happens when we get 20 years on our hiking,
Oh,
right? It's like, but they didn't have those glamping places with jacuzzis and stuff like that when we went. It was like, here's a tent. The only thing that I did do that was, I always brought the coffee and the boiling water, and I became like the coffee Sherpa. In the morning, people loved the fact that I didn't go anywhere without my coffee. But I'm sure now I wouldn't even have to take my coffee. But I
I
probably
would,
would.
I'll bring it for you. I'll bring it for you. How about that? So,
Okay, all right. Maybe it's time for another hike in Peru. We'll see.
yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
well, I totally recommend it. I keep threatening that I'm going to take a group to Peru, and it just hasn't happened. So if you're going to go with Linda, and maybe I'll go too.
Yep. I just got back from northern Peru last night. So, yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So, and
I
I
know.
just, again, Renee, I can't say enough wonderful things about not only you and your Wind Clan, but about doing the symposium. It is straight Aini that you're putting out that brings back that vibration. So,
Well,
thank you
thank
for
you.
holding this space.
Thank you, thank you. And to everyone who's, giving up these last few shopping days before Christmas to join us and to hold the fire and to turn that consumerism into the sacred. We really appreciate you being here and holding the space for all those people who are struggling out there and who can't do that yet. So, in peace and blessings, and have a wonderful day. Welcome to the I Am Winter Solstice Symposium.